Hi, my name is Darren Denman. I'm a pianist and composer currently living in New York City. My life is in a very exciting place right now as I've just graduated from college, but I'm currently not making any money in music. I was able to obtain my degree in 3.5 years instead of 4, which puts me at an advantage in my own life because for a few months I'll be able just to focus in on building my own career before I have to consider getting a day job to support myself. So as I work hard over these next few months, I've decided that starting a podcast will help me focus my ideas and hopefully offer a platform of discussion to anybody interested in what to do after music school. I guess the first thing I should do is probably tell you guys a little bit about myself. I was raised in Las Vegas, Nevada, where I began taking piano lessons at I was about 9, which is actually pretty late in the game for learning the piano. It seems most people start the piano when they're about 4 or 5. When I was about 12 or 13, I decided to pursue music as a profession and auditioned for the Las Vegas Academy, which is a performing arts high school in Las Vegas. By the time college auditions rolled around, I had my heart set on New York City and tried out for the New School for Jazz and Contemporary Music. Got in, and by taking a solid 18 credits a semester and having one AP test from high school, I got my degree in 3.5 years instead of 4. After finishing all of the requirements for school, I went home for about a month where I mostly did nothing. But while I wasn't doing nothing, I started planning out my future and laying down the foundation for my career. A jazz performance degree is a funny thing. You get to school completely starry-eyed, where you have this idea that you're going to practice every second of every hour in the day, and that eventually you're going to get discovered, go on tour, see the world. This might happen for a few people, but it certainly didn't happen for me. As each year passed, the idea was kind of beaten out of me, so I started taking a bunch of different classes that I felt would increase my skill set and hopefully pay off after I got out. So while I was back home, I re-examined my abilities and basically came to the conclusion that I could separate my career into 4 areas: teaching, film scoring, lounge gigs, cocktail gigs, and my own music. Once I figured that out, my game plan became incredibly focused and everything was clear. So the first area of my career is teaching. I'm assuming that teaching is probably going to be the bulk of my income, at least for a while. I'm currently in the midst of developing a lesson plan for teaching kids that hopefully I'll finish up in a week or so. I want to eventually have 10 students at $60 a lesson, which is enough for me to live on. Of course, I need to find the students first, so I'm going to hang up flyers literally everywhere that I can in New York. And the flyer needs to stand out. So I commissioned my good friend Colin Selinsky, he's an incredibly talented artist, to make me a really bright and colorful flyer that's going to pop out. I'll let you guys see it as soon as I get it. He's still working on it right now. As a way to really bring in possible clients, I'm offering the first lesson free, as well as offering a free lesson every time a student recommends another student so that they're networking for me. Hopefully word will spread pretty fast about my teaching and I'll be able to start gaining students and income fairly soon. The next focus is going to be film scoring. Film scoring has always been an interest of mine as well. My older brother, Nick Denman, has been making movies since elementary school, and through high school and college, I've gotten to score a number of them, most notably a short film Unmasked, which premiered at a number of different festivals in the country. Well, at the New School, I was able to take a film scoring class with George Fontenette, where I built up a really basic film reel that is now on my website for directors to see. I plan to follow in the footsteps of my roommate Spencer Snyder, who already has a pretty impressive career for someone who only graduated a year ago. I'm going to just start by blindly emailing directors just as he did until someone somewhere responds and I can start building up a resume. Eventually, this will provide a little bit of income here and there, but at first it'll probably just be a lot of free work. I have to pay my dues like everyone else. Thirdly, there's going to be lounge gigs, cocktail gigs, anything I can get my hands on. Speaking of Spencer Snyder, he and I have an organ trio with our other roommate, Owen Dudley. This started during my last semester at the New School when we played a corporate party. We had a blast doing it and we made pretty good money. So we decided to keep the band together just for the sole purpose of making money. So we put together a demo in our living room, which I'm currently mastering, and I'm going to build a website for the group. We're not trying to play smalls or smoke or anything like that. We're just trying to make money playing gigs in the background, weddings, whatever. I'm not sure how easy it's going to find work for this, but if anyone has any ideas, I'd love to hear them. Finally, there's my own music. Sadly, the one thing I've come to realize is that creative music doesn't really pay anything, at least not for a while. But the entire reason I came to New York City was to write music for my own band, have CDs, and really live the dream. Throughout college, I've had several different versions of my own group, and I've played in many other people's groups, and I've had a blast getting to know a lot of my colleagues, and they're good friends of mine now. And when it came time to put my senior recital together, I decided on a quintet with 2 tenor saxes, and we played only my original music. Fortunately, the new school films all of the performances at the school, so while I was at home, I was able to put my recital up on YouTube and then embed the videos on my website to serve as kind of a demo for clubs. In my own opinion, having videos up looks a little bit more professional than just having the audio clips up, but I also have the audio clips up on SoundCloud. Also, it's less time consuming to embed a YouTube video as opposed to uploading audio files to the internet. I already have a few gigs coming up, which I'm hoping people will come out to. What's important to me is that I treat my musicians right and throw any money that I can. I know what it's like to give up hours and hours for rehearsals and performances without pay, and it gets hard to stay committed to serious projects without really any true incentive. It's important to me that I treat my musicians well so that they stay with me and my music can grow and develop with the same musicians. So basically, not only does creative music not pay, it also costs money. So between lessons, film scoring, and cocktail gigs, I need to be able to pay my rent, buy groceries, and throw my musicians money for gigs. I hope that anybody listening to this will continue to follow this podcast and offer any sort of advice or criticism that can help me. I hope I can lay down some sort of framework that others can follow after they graduate, or at the very least, if I don't succeed, you can see what I'm doing wrong. Now, everybody out there is probably wondering, what now? What's my first step? Well, my room is a disaster after my finals, and I believe that a clean work environment is the only real way for me to get anything done. So I'm going to reorganize my living space. But while I'm cleaning, I hope you guys take a second and share this video with anyone in music school, currently scared about graduation, anybody looking at attending music school, but they're not sure if a music degree can actually lead to anything, because I'm thinking it can if I just come up with some good strategies right out of the gate. Thanks for listening. If you can't get enough of me, head on over to DarrenDenman.com.